Hello, I'm Potter D842 here, and today I wanted to give you day 3, bookshelf number 1, shelf number 3, and we will get started with this. This is video take 1. I will only upload the take that comes out correctly, and each time I mess up, I will not edit it out, I will just re-record everything. Again, allow me to remind you that if you see a book you would like me to do an in-depth review on that will last around 5 minutes in length or so, then just put a comment in the comment below telling me which one. If I do not own the book that you would like to see me recommend, go ahead and make the recommendation. I will go to my local library and see if I can find it. If I can't find it there, I'll go travel to some other libraries that I have cards for, and again see if I can try to find it at those. Spend a couple weeks reading it, then get a review out to you. At any rate, allow me to start with this part of my book collection. Here we're going into we got away from all of my text and religious books, and we're going straight into my fiction. And as you will see, these are all fiction books, and fiction's quite possibly one of my favorites. Very interesting to me. It's generally whenever I do a lot of writing as well, and my writing, I'll actually put a link in the that that thingy over there. The doobly doo, or the treasure box, as some other YouTubers call it. Olga calls it the treasure box. I've seen a lot of people who call it the doobly doo. And yes, I do have a lamp here to try to give you better lighting of the situation. So that's kind of why I've got a glare on my face and not on this side, because it's like pointing this way. Anyway, let's get started here. Starting off with the Once and Future King by T.H. White, and also the Book of Merlin, which is supposedly the unpublished ending to the Once and Future King. T.H. White writes very amazingly. Moving on to Eric Flint, The Philosophical Strangler by Eric Flint. Very good read, highly recommend it. And Anne McCaffrey's The Mystery of Irada. This is actually 2 novels in one, which is The Dinosaur Planet, Dinosaur Planet Survivors. Very good read as well. Moving on from that, we have, after these two, I will go through them 3 at a time, but Brian Jacques, The Angel's Command, and David and Lee Eddings, Belagareth the Sorcerer. If you don't know who Brian Jacques is, he wrote the Redwall series, probably one of his best known works as far as I know, and it's the one that introduced me to his work. He writes very amazingly, and I highly recommend him as an author. He's very, very good. Now to start doing them by 3s to try to speed up the video a little bit. I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't have the full series of The Lord of the Rings yet. I do plan on getting it as soon as I can, though. This is The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. I'm missing The Fellowship of the Ring, unfortunately. J.R.R. Tolkien, The Return of the King, Book 3, and the final of the Lord of the Rings series. I don't have any of the other stuff by him either. I would love to get some. I just haven't had a chance to pick them up. Gods Old and Dark by Holly Leslie. Haven't read this one yet. Dragonwing. This is the part 1 of the Deathgate cycle, and it's actually a really good read. Highly recommend this. Time Capsule, which is just a collection of short stories about teenagers through the 20th century. It's actually really interesting stuff to see, like, just how different the cultures are. Moving on. Dracula in London. This is kind of like short stories that different people have written about Dracula's time while he was in London, because Bram Stoker didn't talk a lot about that. He talked a little bit about it and then switched over to his time in America. Talking to Dragons by Patricia C. Reed. This is book 4 of the Enchanted Forest Chronicles. I don't have the rest of them, but this one was actually really good. I got it as a child. I remember reading through it, really liked it. Haven't read it since then, so I can't give you my thoughts on it exclusively, but I remember really liking it. And The Crystal Shard by R.A. Salvatore. Cannot recommend R.A. Salvatore's work enough. He's actually a really, really good author, and definitely writes very good battle scenes and things like that. So definitely can't recommend his stuff enough. Moving on, another astonishing stories edited by Michael Cohan. I got this for like $3.50, so I couldn't pass it up. And it has a short story by Stephen King in it, and I love Stephen King's work. but it's very good. Moving into my science fiction collection. Starting that off, I have The Unifying Force by James Luceno. Again, got this little library for $1, and it was an amazing find. This is the last book of it, but it also comes with of the New Jedi Order series. But it came with a CD of the very first of it, which was written by R.A. Salvatore, who I just talked about, so I'll spare you the details. And again, shopping in the library for $1, I got the hardcore edition, not the hardcore, sorry, the hardcover edition of Frank Herbert's Dune. And this is a very good read. I haven't read the rest of the series, but this one was really good, and I highly recommend Frank Herbert's work. Very, very good. Um, Possibly one of my favorite science fiction. I'll actually go ahead and show you all 4 of the books I own, or not all 4 of them. I only own 3 by the author, but I have 4 books to go through. So, not by the author that I really like. The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin, and this actually has a recommendation from Frank Herbert, the author of Dune, very acclaimed author, very good author, who says this is the jewel of the story. I haven't read The Left Hand of Darkness yet, but definitely I plan to. It sounds really good from reading about it. And moving on to possibly who is one of my favorite science fiction authors. I only own 3 of his books, and I definitely plan to get more. But his work is really good. He's very well worded, and he just writes very cultivatingly. And I have 3 of his books. This is the only one I didn't buy at a library. This one I picked up at a bookstore. I do a lot of book shopping at libraries and bookstores, and this one wasn't that expensive. It's only $6.99, so it was definitely worth it. Definitely a good read. But Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke is an amazing author. And then shopping at libraries for 50 cents, I got A Fall of Moondust. And I definitely plan to get the Space Odyssey series. And then again, shopping, well, actually this wasn't at a library. This was at a used bookstore. It was only like 50 cents. And that's Ghost from the Grand Banks. Definitely very good read. Moving on, just the Death and Life of Superman, a novel by Roger Stern. This kind of goes through the Doomsday movie. I don't know if the movie was based off the book or the book was based off the movie or whatever, but at any rate, it's really, really good. Eon by Greg Bear. Haven't read it yet. Definitely plan to. Got it at actually my cousin bought it for me at a grocery store, but definitely plan to read it. And then Science Fiction, The Best of 2004. I actually picked this up towards the end of 2004, 2005, and it was really good as far as I remember, but I picked it up for $2 at my college. I wasn't in college at the time, but the college that I went to my freshman year of college, I picked this up at the bookstore there for $2. It was very cheap, very good, and so far the short stories are really good. I haven't read all of them yet, but so far very good. And then to finish up this video, instead of showing you a collection of 3 books, I will only show you a collection of 2. These are both by the same author because I only have 2 books left on the shelf. That's Floating Dragon by Peter Straub and Shadowland by Peter Straub. And I haven't read these yet, but I'm thinking they're going to be very good. And Stephen King actually writes a review on Shadowland. I thought it was creepy from page 1. I loved it. And if Stephen King says something's creepy, it's most likely going to be creepy, and I'm probably going to love it. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That has been this is only take 1 of bookshelf number 1, shelf number 3, day 3 video. I highly hope you enjoyed it. I cannot stress that enough, that I do hope that. I really do. Thank you all for watching, and good day.